In modern physical science, we have been able to prove the theory of atoms, and then discover the components of these atoms, and then further the quarks that make up the protons and neutrons within the atoms. But what if you wanted to take it a step further and discover a unifying component in all of matter? If we could find such a substance, would it unify all aspects of physics? Could gravity and spacetime and electromagnetism all be connected with a master equation which could then be applied to bend spacetime and create wormholes through extra dimensions? Yeah, let's not get too far ahead of ourselves, but the idea of string theory in recent years has excited physicists around the world. So let's delve into this idea. To begin, we must first understand the concept of three-dimensional space and time. Einstein developed the idea of space-time, a flat medium where matter could bend the space and time around it. This curve created makes valleys for planets to orbit stars and stars to orbit galaxies. Another man named Kaluza wanted to create a unifying theory which would connect Einstein's theory on gravity with electromagnetism, but it didn't really work with a four-dimensional space-time. Kaluza proposed the need for an extra dimension for electromagnetism, making the flat spacetime composed of an extra physical dimension. The numbers never really came out, however, and this unifying concept kind of died out for several years. Recently, the idea of string theory came along. This idea states that within the quarks of an atom, there are energies in the shape of strings which vibrate at certain frequencies depending on the geometry of the atom that surrounds it. This unifies all matter and forces and space-time, but there was a catch. The numbers only worked with the concept of 10 physical dimensions plus time. Now, to visualize this, take space-time at its tiniest level and then put a tesseract with ever-changing shape as the molecules that make it up. This will allow you to grasp the idea of extra dimensions. Okay, so now we have a theory that unifies all of physics. So where are the wormholes? Not so fast. I see it as us physicists having the materials for a lab, but only the unproven theories on how to conduct the experiment. Without knowledge of extra dimensions, the experiment would never work, and plus we're only looking at the tiniest particles in the known universe. First, we need to understand string theory, test for it, and then apply it to the real world. So how do we test for it? Physicists in Geneva, Switzerland have a Hadron Collider where they are smashing particles at each other at near the speed of light. The goal is to smash them head-on to open up extra dimensions and leave some of the energy from the collision in those dimensions. If the energy before is more than the energy after the experiment, it will prove that some of this energy was lost to these extra dimensions and proving that they exist. Now, this would all bring us one step closer to solving string theory. String theory was first developed by Gabriele Veneziano, and physicists have come a long way in adapting the theory to new findings found in modern experiments. With string theory, we can better understand the foundation of the universe. It may not be that practical for society with how complicated it is for us today, but with further education and research, string theory may become the basis of all science and technology for the future.